Hey, it's DBJ doing deep cuts into the DMG, finding anything from one word, one line, or one paragraph, one section in the DMG, and going over it and coming up with different ideas of how to use them, spark some ideas for you and your game, and just general talking and ranting. This time we're going to go to something called REST variants. I don't even know what chapter this is, but it is page 267, and hopefully my finger can point, index finger can point to it, and it will show up on the camera. REST variations, all right? And essentially REST variants are, as optional rules, are divided into epic heroism and gritty realism. Now in the game, and I'm not sure what edition of Dungeons and Dragons it came about, but there is a short-term and long-term rest. And under the optional rules for rest variants under Epic Heroism, this variant uses a short rest of 5 minutes and a long rest of 1 hour. This change makes combat more routine since characters can easily recover from every battle. The other variant is Gritty Realism. This variant uses a short rest of 8 hours and a long rest of 7 days. This puts the brakes on the campaign, requiring the players to carefully judge the benefits and drawbacks of combat. Characters can't afford to engage in too many battles in a row, and all adventuring requires careful planning. And what really sparked me with the rest variant, and you actually can see there's another portion next to this about healing and healing variations, which I'll actually tell you about a little bit. One healing variation is optional rule is a healer's kit dependency. A character can't spend any hit dice after finishing a short rest until someone expends one use of a healer's kit to bandage and treat the wounds. Healing surges, having additional healing surges, and then also the optional rule having slow natural healing. The reason why I picked this out, especially changing the duration of the short and long rest variant, is it made me think about not only what tone of game you want, but there was an old game, I believe it was from FASA, but don't quote me on this, and it was called Torg. And the long and short of it was Earth became a nexus for other dimensions, merged with Earth, and so that you had different excuses to have gaming worlds on Earth. So Africa merged with a dimension that had like dinosaurs, and Japan merged with a dimension that was like ninjas and cyberware or something, and so on and so forth. And what made me think about this is that there's like the game setting Dark Sun, and Dark Sun is like a near desert, gritty, hard to survive kind of game. So what if you used these variant rules to extend or to shorten the long and short rests, and to extend or shorten the healing process based on the environment in your setting? So an example would be you have flying castles and high magic, and so the long and short rests are real short. Short rest is 5 minutes, long rest is an hour. Your characters are throwing around fireballs and flying around and healing, and it's no big deal. But when let's say part of your game they have to go through a jungle or a desert, and it's harsh living. And so when they get there, you as the game master, you tell your players, listen, the rules for this particular portion of the world are changing. Your short rest is 8 hours, and your long rest is 7 days to heal. That's pretty gritty. Then you're going, whoa, wait a minute. And would this go over with certain groups? I don't know. I mean, could you do it? Would it make sense? What about players or characters that go from one area to another. So you've got this harsh desert realm and druids that live there, and they're used to living in a harsh world. And then they go into the high fantasy world where, survival becomes easy. Would you allow that? Sure. Why not? But the variant rules also allow you to create the tone of the kind of game you want. So if you feel that the 5th edition rules, you're like, hey, you know what? Everyone else is saying this is lethal, but I think the characters I think they're a little too powerful. I want something more along the lines of Game of Thrones. I want something deadly and gritty. So I'm going to use those optional rules. And that's a good way to do it, by just shortening or lengthening out the rest periods and recovery periods, and doing the same thing with the healing periods as well. It would be an odd but possible way to, say, shorten healing, so there's plenty of healing, but the game is grittier because the rests are longer, or vice versa. So it takes a long time to heal, but you get these short rests and short bursts of energy or something. Would that merge together very well? I don't know. I don't think so, but that would also be a very strange thing to delve into. So anyway, again, deep cuts into the DMG. I am DBJ, and we have just talked about the optional rule for rest variance and healing on page 267. Check it out if you want to use it for your game, or you come up with another idea. Just use it as an option. Bring it up to your players, and or as a player, maybe you feel that the game doesn't quite have the tone that you're looking for, and this could be a way to fix it. So anyway, thank you. As always, use it to be real creative in your games. Always create some really great stories, and with those long rests, I think I can pretty much foresee a lot of destruction.